Hey out there, fellow YouTubers, Bob the Drummer here. Today I want to talk about my customized, modified Sonor Player kit. I did some poking around on YouTube and I saw there weren't a lot of videos about this kit, and I made some pretty interesting, well, I think they're interesting, we'll let you decide if they are or not. I made some pretty interesting modifications to this kit. So if you kind of bear with me, we'll do a little nerd walkthrough. Okay, let's get started. The Sonor Player kit, for those of you who aren't familiar with it, comes with a 12 by 20 bass drum, and you have an 8 by 10 rack tom, and a 12 by 14 floor tom, and a 5 by 14 snare drum. It also comes with that double tom holder, and there's a mount for the tom that comes with it, and a cymbal boom arm that comes with it. Now I decided that I wanted to have an extra cymbal on there, so what I did was I took the cymbal arm that came with it and I added a shorter boom holder to it from Gibraltar. So the arm that's holding the splash cymbal is, attached to the cymbal holder that came with the Sonor kit. And I bought a Gibraltar holder that has a 5/8 down tube that fits into the tom holder, or I think it's a 7/8 down tube, I can't remember the exact size. Anyway, I bought one that fits into the tom holder for the ride cymbal, and I added a Tama fast clamp instead of the Sonor tom holder to that cymbal arm, and that holds the tom. The Tama fast clamp is very, very strong, and it's a very, very adjustable mount. It's one of my favorite mounts. And I added a Pearl percussion table. That's a 12 by 12 percussion table. And you can see it clamps onto the down tube from the ride cymbal holder on the bottom of that mount there. Sorry, losing my words here. So anyway, my goal was to get a kit to fit on this drum rug, and this drum rug is 38 by 62 inches, and I wanted also to have very lightweight hardware and easy transport and stuff like that. So I'm using lightweight stands by PDP, and those are very inexpensive. You can get those anywhere. I have a whole bunch of those. You can't kill the things. Now for the floor tom, I decided to use the stand as one of the legs. And you can see I took a Tama fast clamp and I attached it to that boom stand, and I'm using that to help hold the tom. Now by setting the stand back here, you've got more room out front here, so you've actually saved space. And then the boom comes off there and holds the crash cymbal. When this packs away, that boom arm tucks straight into that stand, and it goes in the bag in one piece just like that, with the tom mount and everything attached. Now, in order to get all that weight to be held by this bass drum, I had to do some modifications inside the drum. So I actually took one of the tubes that you see on that stand. I removed the legs from it, of one of those stands. I took that tube and I fit it snugly inside the drum, and I'll show you in a minute how that works out. I also decided that I didn't want to have a snare stand. So what I did was I took a DW bass drum hoop clamp that's designed to hold like a cowbell, or you can actually use that to hold bass drum spurs, or all kinds of things you can do with that. And I have it holding the stock snare that came with the kit. I modified the snare. The snare didn't have any beds for the snare, so I filed some beds in it, and I went with a Ludwig P85 strainer because it fit the whole pattern of the Sonor strainer that came with it, which was not very good. And now the snare strainer works exceptionally well, works perfect. And then to mount the drum, I used a Ludwig mount, a standard Ludwig mount that you would see on any old Ludwig kit there. They offer a floor tom leg or a tom mount, and I just shell mounted it right to the snare drum. I also added 2.3 millimeter hoops to the toms. They came with the thin, 1.5, whatever they are, millimeter hoops, and I wanted a little different sound. I also added a 2.3 millimeter hoop to the batter side of the snare drum. I kept the thin hoop on the bottom. There's no need to change that on a snare. You want that to be, a thin hoop. It's actually more beneficial to the sound. And the snare sounds awesome, as you heard in the sound demo that I had up there earlier. So now, when this stand packs away, I simply loosen this nut and I turn this like 180 degrees around, so now it'll fit into the bag in one piece. This will fit into my hardware bag. So my hardware bag is extremely light because you've only got that very lightweight Sonor 100 hi-hat stand there, which is a very, very well made little stand. It's actually made for like a kid's set. And as you can see, it's perfect at my height. There's no extra rod sticking up from the top. I just have it set there, and I like it at that height. And it works extremely well. And like everything Sonor makes, it's well crafted. So anyway, let me just take you around, and I'm going to show you inside the bass drum the mods and how that works out. Okay, so we're looking through from the batter side, and you can see the rod there, and see how it's anchored to the bottom. I simply took a washer and I screwed it in there, and it fits tight and it fits snugly, and I drilled the washer out to fit snugly, and then I used a little L bracket to clamp it. And on the top, it's similar. It just there's an L bracket like that holding it underneath the factory tom mount. I also put some larger washers on the screws that held the tom mount to spread the load a little more. And that strengthened everything up perfectly well. That it's very, very strong. It's very sturdy. It's not springy at all or anything like that. As you can see, I can move this. See how the whole bass drum will move and it won't. So that worked. That did the trick. I opted to use a couple of floor tom legs. You don't have to. That mount is perfectly capable of suspending that tom. I had it on just that tom mount, but I like to press down on my bass drum, on my floor tom. Sometimes when I stand up, my back hurts. I'm kind of older, so I decided to have the safety of having the 2 extra floor tom legs there. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed my little tour of my customized Sonor kit, and thanks for watching.